Hello everyone, welcome to Just Learn. Today in this video, we will learn the evolution of computerized decision support to analytics and data science. During the 1970s, the primary focus of the information system supports for decision making focused on providing structured, periodic reports that a manager could use for decision making, or else we can ignore them. So businesses began to create routine reports to inform decision makers, that are managers that are working in an organization, about what had happened in the previous period. Here previous period means, let's say, a day, a week, a month, or a quarter. So during the early days of analytics, data was often obtained from the domain experts using manual processes that includes interviews, surveys, and other methods, so that they can build mathematical or knowledge based models to solve constrained optimization problems. The idea was to do the best with the limited resources. Such decision support models were typically called operation research models, or OR models. The problems that were too complex to solve optimally, let's say using linear or non-linear mathematical programming techniques that we will discuss later, were tackled using heuristic methods such as simulation methods. So let's discuss the graphical representation of evolution of decision support. As we can see here, in the late 70s and in early 80s, there was a huge transformation of decision support system to enterprise or executive information system, which is also known as executive IS. So we can see in decision support systems, there were decision support systems working AI expert systems, routine programming, and in 1870s there were relational databases that can store the data that are relevant to an organization and its working. Then after the 1980s, in the early 1990s, there was a transformation from enterprise or executive IS to business intelligence. And from business intelligence, there was a transformation in the field of analytics, then data science, then big data, etc. So let's discuss in a brief what happened during the transformation. In the late 70s and the early 80s, in addition to the mature operation research models that were being used in many industries and government systems, a new and existing line of the models had emerged that are called rule based expert systems. These systems promised to capture experts' knowledge in a format that computers could process so that these could be used for consultation, much the same way that one would use the domain experts to identify a structured problem and to prescribe the most probable solutions. But what happened after 70s? When it was the starting of 1980s, we saw a significant change in the way organizations captured business related data. The old practice had been to have multiple disjointed information systems tailored to capture the transactional data of different organizational units or functions. And these functions or units include accounting, marketing, sales, finance, manufacturing, and many more operations data. In the 1980s, these systems were integrated as enterprise level information systems that we now commonly call enterprise resource planning or ERP systems. In the starting of 1990s, the need for more versatile reporting led to the development of executive information systems. These are also known as EIS. These systems were designed as graphical dashboards and scorecards so that they could serve as visually appealing displays while focus on the most important factors for decision makers to keep a track of the key performance indicators. The tools that are used for creating the dashboards and scorecards nowadays, the wonderful tools, they are called Power BI tools, which is that can where we can do a graphical representation of data that includes Power BI, Tableau, ClickView, and etc. After 1990s, In the 2000, the DW driven, which is known as the data warehouse driven, DSS means designed and developed specifically for the executive and their decision making needs. So we make a data warehouse where we can design and develop the specific information that are required for the executives and their decision making needs. And we began to call them BI systems. As the amount of longitudinal data accumulated in the data warehouse increased, so did the capabilities of the hardware and software to keep up with the rapidly changing and evolving needs of the decision makers. And in the late 2000s, in the beginning of 2010 or in the 2010s, we are seeing yet another paradigm shift in the way that data is captured and used. Largely because of the widespread use of internet, new data generation mediums have emerged. Of all the new data sources, perhaps the most interesting and challenging is the social networking and social media. As we can see, nowadays digital market is a booming market where the main components like search engine optimization or social media optimization plays a vital role. Many advancements in both the hardware, like massively parallel processing with the large computational memory and high parallel multiprocessor computing systems, and softwares or algorithms, they have been developed to address the changes of big data. Thank you, guys.